Emiru just went live and accused Mizkif of almost everything bad you can think of. She exposed their undercover relationship, and what was going on is so terrible.
Today, I'm finally going to be opening up about the psychological and domestic abuse, stalking and harassment, sexual assault, and threats of blackmail that Mizkif has done towards me.
Before we get into this, I just want to say how happy and impressed I am that she was able to post this onto the internet. It's not easy to just go on here and try to expose one of the big creators like Mizkif, and that's definitely going to cause some problems in her space and in that whole side of Twitch. But it is way better to just approach it and make sure that nobody else gets taken advantage of. Mizkif and Emiru have been distant for a long time, and most of what happened to Emiru happened in 2022. So let's get into it, and let's get into why this is all coming back now.
I would like to explain that before I get started so that people
Fair
understand
Yeah, people are gonna be a bunch of haters
what
for real.
prompted me to do this today.
We're gonna say
and that
attention
it's
seeking,
not
blah blah blah.
just on a whim or something like that. Okay, so like I said,
It's fair
I
enough.
took a lot of notes.
Yo, Mizkif, pack it up. She pulled out a whole journal.
So forgive me if I just end up reading off my notes.
Jesus, but there's a book in there. There's a book.
The first and probably most severe reason is that one of the rules that I set for myself a long time ago about withholding this information was that if I ever felt like somebody else was in danger or being hurt, I would then make myself speak about it. And 2 weeks ago, actually 3 weeks ago now,
Jesus.
I was informed by 3 separate people, one of whom was present for said incident, that he had done something similar to something that he had done to me, and to someone in LA at the end of September. And this person is not a streamer or content creator, but obviously that does not matter. And because of this, I cannot in good conscience sit here knowing that I know critical information about someone that almost no one else does and not say anything.
Before she even said any details, it's sad that someone who seems this loyal got done wrong like that. Some creators literally make their significant others sign NDAs just for moments like this. For nothing in return, Emiru held it down for this man just for him to continue and do bad things to other women. It's so sad that the only reason she really felt like she had to talk about this is to save someone else. We gotta get into what he was actually doing though, cause this man Mizkif was wildin'. And if you don't know who Emiru and Mizkif are, you have to keep in mind that their relationship was going on in secret this whole time.
It's not a secret. I think everyone who paid attention knew that he was very controlling over what I wore, to a degree who I was friends with, and even when I would stream. So, when
Why are you saying true? What? How would you know that?
it was definitely slow over time that bad things started happening. At the start, it would be things like, for example, he would throw bottles, like plastic bottles with liquid in it, not like glass bottles, at me. Me telling him like I didn't like it and it scared me and I bruise very easily. He would throw his phone at me. I would tell him, it scared me, I don't like it. And one time it even hit me in the eye, which caused me to get a black eye, but he always was like, oh, it's an accident. And I was like, oh yeah, it's an accident. Of course I'm not gonna think that, he's, yeah, I just, at the time, I just kind of was, I just brushed it off.
At the time, Emiru was going through a lot, and Mizkif comforted her and helped her to feel just safe. So it seems that she was very attached and overlooked some of these things that definitely were signs of him being an abuser. Nobody should ever tolerate their significant other hitting or doing anything physical to hurt them. And in a relationship that just happened, things are only going to get 10 times as worse. So I'm glad she got out of this. I think we also got to question private relationships. Obviously, people don't want everybody in their business. And I think that that is a fair reason to be on mutual terms for a private relationship. But I feel like sometimes people have some very bad motives for private relationships. Because the second I see my friend with a black eye, it's done. I'm snitching. I'm telling all my other friends, the police, and this relationship is done. It's cooked because like I said before, things can definitely escalate, and that's how people lose their life. But anyways, she then goes on about how things got worse between her and Mizkif when the cover-up allegations happened, which basically was when people accused Mizkif of covering up a grape allegation for his friend. Emiru basically held him down and helped him get through all of this, and in return, all she got was his bad attitude and him just letting his stress out on her.
So for a long time after the cover-up allegations happened and he was starting to kind of struggle on his stream, he never wanted to stream at the same time as me. We really avoided it, and to me at the time it made sense because I was like, well, of course, we share a lot of community members. If we're live at separate times, we're both gonna perform better. It makes sense. But
that's a recipe for disaster.
yeah, we were never really live doing the same thing at the same time for a long time, with the exception of things like events or sponsors or just special things for a very long time. And a lot of you guys probably noticed that I would only usually stream on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. That was because of him.
I'll explain later why.
And now I stream whenever I want, but we're both streaming the Rust event, and I thought it was going really well. I thought everyone was having fun. I was like, oh, this is great. Everyone's, doing the same thing at the same time. We're all hanging out. We're gonna have fun. I was really, really excited.
Drops events cause chaos all the time.
I start seeing in my chat, people start saying, unofficial Miz raid, and I'm like, what does that mean? And then I check my Discord messages, and he's messaging me. He's saying Emmy, I'm gonna kill myself. I'm gonna KMS. I waited so long for this, etc. In
what year?
Basically, he was upset because I had higher viewership than him.
Get Mizkif gone. There's no way he threatened to end his whole story mode because this girl went on stream the same time as him. And let's not be dense. Nobody should ever threaten to do that, even as a joke. That's some middle school stuff. And this relationship being private was so detrimental to Emiru because I believe if she said this to anybody, they would have instantly shut this down and probably made her realize just how controlling he was being. Or maybe not even controlling, it just might be insecurity because his views were down and he was just jealous that his girl could get more views than him. And all of this really isn't even the worst part.
He came to my house and I was crying like crazy because the emotions were just very high because I was dealing with a lot of major shifts in my life as a result of me attempting to try to distance myself from him.
That makes sense.
So yeah, we were just talking and I was crying a lot. He started to try to comfort me by hugging me while I was sitting on the couch and holding me really close to him. And when this was happening, we hadn't talked in quite a while, and I'm usually very uncomfortable with being touched a lot by people that I'm not in a relationship with. But I let him hold me while I was crying. And he started kissing me in my face, and I let him do it. I was still sobbing a lot. And then, suddenly, he tried to climb on top of me and aggressively shoved his hand down my pants. And, I screamed. Yeah. And when I screamed, he jumped off me like a cat, And instead of apologizing or checking if I was okay, he said, "I feel weird now. I feel like I did something wrong. I have to go." And he immediately left my house while I was still crying without checking if I was okay or anything.
This is actually so sad because making the mistake of being physical is very bad, and that's one thing. But after, just because she screamed, still not trying to help her, still trying to apologize and facing your actions and making things good between y'all. Because if you hear how she's talking, she definitely would have heard him out, but instead he just decided to run away and leave her. This is all so childish, and you can tell he really just doesn't know how to handle his emotions correctly. It's safe to say Mizkif is not changing, and things need to happen so that he won't be able to take advantage of anybody else in the future. I hope things get better for Emiru because she has had a stalker, she just recently got assaulted at TwitchCon, and she had to leave her group because of all the toxic stuff going on in there. She seems like such a wholesome person, so I know things are definitely gonna go up from here. I appreciate if you stuck this far. I love you. It's been 2 Poles. Peace out.